Welcome to the Cincy Postcast. I'm Kevin Wallace, and before we get started with today's episode, I get to tell you about our great friends over at Streetside Brewery. Located over on the east side of Cincinnati, Columbia-Tusculum area. It is a fantastic place to be watching an away game for FC Cincinnati. I know many people went and checked it out this weekend. Tough result, okay? But I don't think that was Streetside's fault, right? So let's make sure we're blaming the right people here. But no, it's a great spot to watch a game. Tons of televisions, nice patio with some TVs out there as well. Delicious beers on tap. They've got something for everybody, and they're always brewing up new stuff. It is just a fantastic spot. Could not be happier to be partnering with them. If you can't make it out there, they are always selling their delicious brews around the city of Cincinnati. So huge thank you to Streetside for sponsoring this episode. And thank you, listener, for checking them out. And on today's episode, I'm so glad you've decided to tap in, click on, and absorb the Cincy Postcast Oscars special. My God, we are live reacting to the Oscars as we go through this. It's not a full bit, okay, folks. There's plenty of soccer talk sprinkled throughout this. It was a rough loss. This is the worst loss in the Pat Noonan, Chris Albright era. The game got out of hand, okay? It was a rotated lineup, sure, but I don't think it was 6-1 rotated. Okay. That was rough. That's not ideal. Suboptimal, even. People are using that phrase. Not ideal. Now, something that is ideal, the folks over on the Cincy Postcast Footy Fantasy app. And I got to give a huge shout out to Team Ray D513 for coming in third so far in the total cumulative points, 280 points. Crazy Canines is coming in at 308 in team. I'm going to say Path Gone. That's not right. Please correct me. In first place with a whopping 325 points, crushing it. I do have to give a special shout out to the team in 73rd. That's me. Okay. I'm in 73rd, but I've got 2 wins, which is more than FC Cincinnati can say. So enjoy this postcast. Joining me to talk about all of that and more, I am joined by the Chief and Grayson, the night of the worst loss in the Pat Noonan, Chris Albright era.
And by that, we mean Elle Fanning in sentimental value, losing to Amy Madigan in Weapons for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. It was quite devastating.
Yeah. Speaking of lack of weapons.
So Kevin, I know people are talking about, so we have to set the stage here. Here is what has already been awarded.
Please.
At the time of recording in this, the 98th Academy Awards. Okay. Sean Penn has won Best Actor in a Supporting Role for One Battle After Another. As I mentioned, Amy Madigan has won Best Actress in a Supporting Role for Weapons as Gladys, in which she was quite good. And I would venture to say that the Best Actress in a Supporting Role category was the maybe best category top to bottom tonight. Yeah. Best Original Screenplay went to Sinners for Ryan Coogler.
Okay.
Little foreshadowing for later in the show, maybe.
Best Adapted Screenplay went to One Battle After Another to Paul Thomas Anderson.
Okay.
Best Animated Feature Film. This is for you, Kevin, and for Nick Hagland. K-pop Demon Hunters.
I didn't see it, but I'm going to go ahead and say Zootopia was robbed. Furries of the world unite. Like Zootopia can still win if Mike Pence has the courage.
There appears to have been a tie. for best live action short film. It was
a very contested category.
Do you go to extra time or do away goals decide who wins this then?
I don't know, but I'll tell you. So the winners were The Singers,
which
I actually saw and loved. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And
where does one see a short film?
So The Singers is on Netflix.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
It's based on a Turgenev short story. We don't have to go down that route, but
okay.
I know everyone kind of, I don't want to rehash what everybody already knows.
Everyone already read this short story. There's no point.
Yes. It's the short story you guys all know. And then the other, it tied with Two People Exchanging Saliva.
Let me guess what this film was about.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I don't want to get too sidetracked with this either, but like, I don't like the trend of just like kind of literally describing like what's going to happen in a thing as like a title. There was like I saw a trailer for a thing that was called like Something Terrible is Going to Happen or something like that. I'm like,
yeah,
can't you call it like The Terribling or something? Right.
You know who I truly blame for this? And it really does mark a demarcation point, I think, in American culture in general that might be worth exploring in a World Cup break episode. I don't know, but the film Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like a bit, right?
Right, but that was the moment where like that was where like it was a bit, and like all bits, eventually it swung around and just became things people are doing. Now you're doing Snakes on a Plane like not funny. Was
Snakes on a Plane before or after Sharknado? Because they feel
way before.
It was before. Yeah.
Way before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Best animated short film was, and this one is shocking to me. I'm not even joking. This one is shocking to me. Because I've seen all
Worker and Parasite.
I've seen all the animated short films. Okay. The Girl Who Cried Pearls was the winner. And I will tell you,
please,
Butterfly, the easy winner. Easy winner for me in this category.
Pro Butterfly podcast here. This is a robbery.
Outrageous.
Horrid.
Okay. This is the biggest steal of the day for me.
Right.
Best casting has been One Battle After Another, which I would have gone Sinners in that category.
So wait, hold on. If you win the Academy Award for one of the best screenplay categories, and you win best casting, isn't that the whole ball of wax on what best movie?
It does feel like it's going to be One Battle After Another, because they got best supporting actor, they got best adapted screenplay, they got best casting. It does feel like we're trending in One Battle After Another territory. Best production design was Frankenstein. Okay. Best makeup and hairstyling, Frankenstein. Best costume design, Frankenstein. And I think,
do we get best visual effects?
One Battle After a Frankenstein.
Not nominated.
I think that's everything that has been awarded as of the time of recording, as of now.
All right.
I have the most recent one right here. Best visual effects goes to
Avatar, Fire and Ash.
The Post movie, the Post franchise, Avatar, Fire and Ash. Baby.
There we go.
That's a Post victory. Yeah.
Yeah. The two film franchises of the Postcast, the Rebel Moon cinematic universe and the Avatar cinematic universe. Only one of those still with us, sadly.
And they're doing a trailer. They're doing like a trailer for Train Dreams as we speak, which
the Bonnie Blue biopic.
No.
Jesus.
Which I would say,
I know it's biopic. Shut up.
Which I will go ahead and declare Train Dreams as the
worst,
the
best
post
picture nominee.
No, have you seen it?
No, but I just felt like taking a hard take here.
I was going to say it's the Postcast Best Picture nominee of the year.
Oh, okay. Explain. Because I was ready to go hard and say it's the worst.
He just did.
I just feel like if you like Train Dreams, you like The Post.
That doesn't bode well. I don't think
We feel more like a Project Hail Mary type of podcast, if I'm being honest.
No, that's a lot of production value. We're like The Room, but before it was ironically enjoyed.
We're more like a 70s episode of Doctor Who, if you're being honest.
Which they rediscovered one of them.
Saw that.
They got
Darlik's
one back,
Master
baby.
Plan. We're back. 2 episodes.
Documentary short is coming out now. All right,
oh boy. We go. If I could, just on the K-pop Demon Hunters Utopia concept here, bad sign for Disney to lose this one to K-pop Demon Hunters. I think this signals a sea change for Sony Animation out of nowhere to have risen to match, if not surpass, Disney's and Pixar's animated quality films here.
They just need to pop out another Frozen. Like the only reason people like K-pop Demon Hunters is that everyone sang the songs, and you know, Disney just needs another. They need another movie that has like a banger song in it, and they'll be back on top.
Let Lin-Manuel or the Avenue Q guy get back in there. And it'll be fine.
They did not let
fewer movies about people dreaming about fucking a bunny, and more movies about like singing about Let It Go. Okay, like
Zootopia 2 is very good. K-pop Demon Hunters, very good movie. I will say the songs are obviously bangers, but it's an interesting concept.
I've seen none of the animated movies because obviously,
right?
They all looked like they probably suck.
Zootopia 2 is okay. You're telling like the racism allegory via animals is nice.
We already did that in Zootopia 1.
Oh, but we introduced a whole new. There's no reptiles in Zootopia. We've
introduced kinds of racism you never imagined.
You've never even thought about.
What are we in, like the James Fishback campaign?
Right. We're going deep into your grandparents' bag of racial slurs. Yeah.
In fairness, it is more like Hidden Figures, but if the Hidden Figures were genuinely hidden for decades.
Yeah, they don't go to the moon in this one.
Hidden Figures was like a neat little movie.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There's something very funny.
It's like I feel like it's probably Kevin Costner's like ideology.
It is really weird.
Or he's like, well, there's a hierarchy, but like, if you work at NASA, you can pee wherever.
Right. He does play the same character functionally that he does in Draft Day, which is very odd to me.
The Kevin Costner cinematic universe, where it all takes place in the same universe,
right? Where he goes from leaving NASA to being the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, but not before throwing a perfect game.
Okay. For the best documentary short film was All the Empty Rooms.
Terrible. Hated that one.
I'm not gonna describe what it's about because it's a bummer.
Oh damn.
As opposed to all the uplifting feel good documentary short subject life.
Liminal spaces.
Yeah, of course. It actually is about liminal spaces in the sense of like spaces you get to live in until your life is cut short prematurely by
that's sad
culture.
Damn. There's something very funny about awarding an award for best casting and then also having awards for actors in certain roles, which leads you to believe that if you won a couple of those, you obviously have cast the best movie.
There's an explanation for this.
Okay, please.
The like lead in supporting roles in most like big budget or like mainstream like big movies, they're not cast by like a casting director. Like people don't audition for those roles. People are offered those roles. Okay,
I see.
Like the casting director will fill out like the rest of the movie.
The backbenchers via audition.
Yeah. Gotcha. I mean, obviously like some of the movies that do end up getting nominated for like acting roles probably did have people like audition for those roles. But like Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't get cast in one battle after another.
Gotcha.
Paul Thomas Anderson's agent talks to his agent and says like, do you want to work with Paul Thomas Anderson? He's like, sure. Like,
okay.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I withdraw my complaint.
All the empty rooms. What every TV room looked like about midway through this FC Cincinnati game after everybody turned the match off and walked out.
Got him.
Another depressing short film.
Oh, Jesus. Ooh, we got a best documentary feature.
Yep. One of them is called The Alabama Solution, which not figuring out what that's about.
Yeah, no, I've scrolled by that one a couple of times on HBO and been like, I'm good. Don't need to know about it.
I bet it's bad.
I'm betting Alabama doesn't have a solution that I want to implement in my life. It's not for me. That's what I would say.
I've heard The Perfect Neighbor is quite the watch.
What are the nominees? I actually watched quite a few documentaries this year.
It's Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor.
Perfect Neighbor, I've seen, and Mr. Nobody versus Putin, I've seen. Perfect Neighbor, I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mr. Nobody wins.
Hey, Mr. Nobody.
Mr. Nobody.
Huzzah.
Starring Ayub Jabari. I can do this for the rest of the Oscars broadcast.
I mean, they're giving awards like left and right. I'm not sure there's time for us to talk about anything else.
Just spamming through this right here. Conan must have only written 15 minutes of material.
Okay, so Chief.
Yes.
I'm going to go down the list of best pictures. You tell me you've seen it or not.
All right.
Okay.
No.
Begonia.
No, that's the one with the weird looking bald woman, right?
Well, that's Emma Stone.
Okay. Yeah. No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. F1.
God, no. No, I'm not going to watch that.
Wow.
Frankenstein.
I read the book.
Kevin, you seen any of these yet? I bet you saw F1.
I saw F1.
Yeah. Loser.
It was free.
It's how you catch pigs. It's how you catch pigs.
It's like if you had a music biopic for Shakespeare.
Frank Sinatra's son that got kidnapped or whatever.
Where it's like,
Linda
oh my
Lindbergh,
God,
baby.
That's where that line in the play came from. When his wife said that to him, it's just a bunch of shit like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that.
Hamnet's about Shakespeare's son that died, who was named Hamnet, and then he separately, independently wrote a thing called Hamlet.
Just totally unrelated.
Yeah,
no connection whatsoever.
Right. Have you seen Marty Supreme?
I have not, but that's not from like not wanting to see that one. I'm going to see that one eventually. It just never got around to it thus far.
Have you seen One Battle After Another?
No.
What about The Secret Agent?
Oh, no. James Bond, is that?
It feels like something Netflix would have spent $80 million on.
Austin Powers.
Have you seen Sentimental Value?
Have not. No. I prefer things with
Kevin,
real
feel
value.
free to chime in when we get to a movie you've seen.
Oh yeah, I'll let
Kevin's
you know.
got kids. Kevin doesn't go to the movies anymore.
Also, Kevin's frozen.
Also, Kevin is frozen.
Have you seen Sinners?
I have not. And I feel like
haven't
that makes
seen Sinners?
I haven't.
I saw from
That's like the movie.
That's
like
I know it's a movie that everyone
that's like
has
the
seen.
movie to see this year.
I'm aware. I don't go to the movies much anymore. Like I really don't.
Well, you can just watch movies at home.
Yeah, but like once I'm at home, the problem is like every time I think about turning a movie on, there's always a game on, or I fire up the Nintendo. I'm like a shit human being.
Kevin, what have you seen?
I saw Dusk Till Dawn, so I think that covers me for Sinners.
I don't think it does. Have you guys seen Train Dreams? We've already
the trailer
said no.
the trailer just came out.
Yeah.
I have Train Dreams, but that's probably different.
Okay.
It's related to the subway though that we need to finish.
These are my train dreams.
Those are my train dreams.
That's another reason why this is the postcast movie of the year.
My train dream is the Cincinnati subway being restarted.
Here's the problem with like all of this.
Okay.
Lack of government funding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not one of these movies is better than Eddington.
I've heard this take as well, Grayson. I've heard it was controversial that Eddington was not nominated.
But it wasn't controversial. It wasn't nominated. Because the difference
amongst critics that I've heard, not in the broader media.
The thing about Eddington is like, it doesn't make you feel good.
F1 made me feel good.
Yeah, but if all you're going for is like, did this movie make me feel good? Then it's like, why isn't Deadpool and Wolverine nominated?
But like Hamnet makes you feel sad because you're like sad about like a child dying, right? Which is like a thing that makes you feel like, oh yeah, I'm a good person because I feel sad when like children die, right?
Yeah,
right.
Or like Begonia makes you feel good because you're like, I recognize like, what's the guy's face? The actor Jesse, whatever. I recognize like incels as like bad people, right?
Sure.
I feel good because like this like fits within my paradigm.
Okay.
Eddington doesn't like fit within your paradigm.
Ooh.
It makes you feel bad if you
For
like
being in your own paradigm.
if you watch it and like engage with it in any way, right? Because it's like oh yeah, like this makes you feel good, but like doesn't this guy like also have a point? And also like, does any of it matter because we're building the data center anyway?
On that point, Trump has offered charging people with treason and therefore the death penalty for posting AI slop. Thoughts?
His administration. We'll start with that.
I don't want that.
Referring to Iranian AI slop.
Yeah, no, I don't want that because like my only hope at this point is that we are living in an AI simulation, and at some point, like it's just going to stop, and then we can be free of all this.
Oh, so a common tell that like an image is AI is that there are 6 when there shouldn't be.
Yes. There's a certain world leader that had 6 of them recently.
That he actually had 5.
Not in the video I saw.
Was today's game AI?
Ooh. I mean, the thing is that it's usually it appears the 6th only appears in just 1 or 2 frames. Everything else looks great, but then you just see the 6. You know, maybe the last shot you get is that there's 6 when there should be 5, and that does bear a striking resemblance to how today's game played out.
If you look at the stats, I don't think, strictly looking at the stats, you can come up with 6 goals for them.
I know one stat you can look at to come up with 6 goals.
Oh, what's that?
The score line.
I was avoiding that. I only look at XG post shot.
I was told we got time to. They just brought like the Bridesmaids from the movie Bridesmaids out for some reason.
Very topical, very current.
So we got. And also, they're missing a bridesmaid, but that's not the here or there.
15 years ago.
It seems like we have time to talk about some soccer.
Okay. Well,
Kevin, can I start with this question just for the group?
Sure.
Does this team suck?
I don't think so. I don't think you can look at the performance that happened with Tigres. There are moments where throughout the season.
Yeah, before you go further with that, know this too.
Okay.
Is that we were high on life and like some alcoholic beverages in my case when we recorded that episode on Thursday. And like we kind of glazed past the fact that Tigres landed like 4 hours before the game started.
It's none of our business.
I know it's none of our business, but you know, perhaps that is a data point that would lead one to conclude that maybe that was not a representative effort of what a Tigres versus FC Cincinnati match would look like under normal circumstances. Because there appears to be a growing number of data points that this team may be booty cheeks.
Well, here's the thing. In CONCACAF, there are any number of mitigating circumstances. If it's not that, it's 3 a.m. fireworks. If it's not that, it's elevation. If it's not that, it's a blizzard game. If it's not that, it's food poisoning. all's fair in this competition.
Which you got to wonder, was Yaya Boa in the kitchen that day?
I have wondered this. Wondered this. But I work near the airport, and there were airplanes landing the whole time, like while traffic was stopped all around my office. So like, I don't know what their excuse was. Like planes were landing, and I'm assuming they weren't flying commercial. Maybe they were. But if they were flying a smaller jet, they could have landed at Lunken. They could have landed at any other airport and got a bus. Like this is all on them to make that really dumb decision. They could have flown earlier in the day. Like all of that is dumb decisions. So I don't buy it.
Fair, but it just feels to me like, look, when this lineup came out for this game today, I looked at this lineup and was like, this lineup sucks. Yeah. This is a bad lineup.
Seven rotated players.
7 rotated players. There's at least like 1 or 2 guys who just, one who is absolutely not MLS quality, one who the jury is still out on. So you're already starting guys who have no business in this league to begin with. I just don't feel like good teams lose 6-1 ever. Like that's a pretty clear sign you're a bad team, that like at any point during the year you get drilled 6-1.
No, we've had this conversation before, and I have it on good authority that good teams get their bleep all the time.
Didn't we do it to Miami last year?
I was thinking about. I was going to say something else, and then like a scene from Training Day came in my head, and I was like, "Well, I can't say that."
I mean, depends on which scene from Training Day.
You know the scene.
Yeah, I'm aware.
We beat Inter Miami 3-0.
3-0.
I mean,
yeah, that's the how many did the New England Revolution score on us today?
Didn't we lose like 5-1 or 5-0 the Supporter Shield year to
St. Louis?
St. Louis.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were losing 5-1 in this game, and then we lost 6-1. Like,
is that the new rule? You can lose 5-1 but not 6-1.
I don't know what the rule is anymore. It's 90% of this is vibes, and the vibes are horse shit. Like,
yeah.
At some point in a game like this, like your pride's got to kick in. Like, hey, we haven't won a league match all year. We're not going to win this one, but we're also not going to get the shit beat out of us. And there was just no one on the field that gave a damn at a certain point. And maybe that's what you do. Maybe that's the play. Maybe it's like, we're not coming back in this. So losing 5-1 doesn't matter as much as, losing 10-1 doesn't care. Like a loss is a loss at this point, but it just, it felt like a team. No, it felt like a team that just didn't care today.
You know what is the play? The score for Sinners,
Hamnet,
which just won Best Original Score.
Oh, baby.
So Ludwig Göransson.
So they got music and original screenplay. One battle after another has adapted casting, and best actress in the supporting actor.
Supporting actor.
Oh my God! It's the Mandalorian guy.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
There you go. Cool. Go, Baby Yoda.
A lot of blowing in large tubes.
Speaking of things that look like ass.
Yeah, that movie looks terrible.
That movie looks really bad.
Yeah. I'm not going to watch that movie.
I'm debating whether or not I want to be. I'm debating whether or not I want to be there on day one, just so that I can join in the conversation with people who decide they want to hate all over this movie. It feels like there's going to be a moment on the internet after this comes out that I want to be a part of.
So here's a question. Okay.
All right.
Okay. When Dotto scored for the FC to go up 1-0, what were you guys all thinking?
I was thinking they were going to win this game.
Yeah.
New England sucks. Like, that's the thing.
This is the problem with this game, is even when we were down 2-1, we looked like the better team.
But we don't win coming back. So once we get down 2-1, the game was over.
But here's the other thing.
We looked like the better team.
Here's the other thing. You want to say like, oh, we beat Tigres 3-0. we have gotten our ass beat by terrible teams many, 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 many times in the last couple of years.
Yes.
I maybe exaggerated many, but like we've gotten destroyed by terrible teams. Case in point today.
Yeah.
Were we just a terrible team that happened to beat a really good team?
That's, I think, what it feels like right now.
We were Tigres' worst CONCACAF Champions League loss all time. And they are probably the one team in the region that takes the competition seriously. They've won it more than anybody else. They try the hardest.
This was our worst loss under Pat Noonan.
Yes.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
No matter what you think of the current state of this FC Cincinnati team, we have spent more money on this roster than New England has spent on their roster. We are expected to be a much, much better team than New England is. New England is a sneaky contender for the wooden spoon this year in a lot of people's minds, and they dog walked us today. Like, it wasn't a competitive match.
New England's coach was like a guy who was a youth national team coach who wasn't a good youth national team coach.
Wasn't particularly good. They have a DP goalkeeper. Am I right on that? I think Matt Turner's a DP.
They have Matt Turner. He's whatever he is.
Yeah.
I think he's not DP, though.
He's not the starter for the men's national team.
No.
Well,
we have a DP center back. How'd that turn out for us today?
Yeah.
Miles Robinson's worst game in an FC Cincinnati uniform.
F1 just won best sound.
Yeah. And they should win. Yeah. They should win.
I bet it was real loud.
I bet it was very loud.
Those kinds of awards.
Just a dude revving an Aston Martin engine for 2 hours.
It's very fun.
This is probably an unfair standard, but I think it's actually a fair standard.
All right.
If you have a DP center back, you should never give up like 4 goals.
No. So where I'm at with Miles Robinson after this game is that, like, the problem with having a DP center back, as we have said, is that he cannot win you a game.
Yeah.
Today, Miles Robinson lost you a game. Now, he had some help with that, but like, you scored 1 goal. Miles Robinson like directly lost a dude on a set piece, or not even a set piece, a cross in. And guy scored a goal right in front of him on just an awful play by Robinson. So, like, yeah, he cost you points today. He can never win you points. Like, the math is never going to work out on Miles Robinson as a designated player. But where I will give him some grace on this game is it just a little bit, and I want to be fair to Miles on this, is they were starting a 17-year-old today, and Andre Shirella, who has no business on an MLS roster. I don't think his brother has any business on an MLS roster either. I don't think either one of them can play. But
I think that's way too harsh.
I think it's way too harsh.
17 years old.
I don't care. Maybe he'll be good in a year or two. But right now, as a 17-year-old, he has no business playing in this league.
He looked as good as Miles Robinson today. Take that for what you will.
The difference, though, is that, like, he needed a chaperone this entire game. And Miles Robinson, for as many minutes of soccer as he was playing, had to think about the fact that I have a 17-year-old that can't play next to me. And how is that going to impact what I'm doing? Because this guy isn't good enough for the league. And I'm sorry that I'm being harsh on a 17-year-old, but he's being paid and they suited him up in a uniform. I'm going to call out what I see, that you should never be starting a team like FC Cincinnati should not be starting a player like Andre Shirella ever. He's fine as FCC2. Maybe he'll be good enough at some point. He is not good enough right now.
Don't be harsh on the 17-year-old then.
The harsh guys that started him.
Be harsh on the guys that started him.
He's not. Yeah. Okay. Right? Pat Noonan, Chris Albright. It's
harsh.
It's inexcusable.
Be harsh on the people. Be harsh on the people that are routinely losing. Like, routinely is an overstatement. Okay.
They lose the fewest amount up until this year.
They've lost a shitload of them this year.
But like last year,
3 now, 2.
Last year with the current DP center back on the roster, they lost plenty. They lost a few games. And they lost games worse than they won games.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I don't know. Like, do you think, even if you think this game is an aberration, do you expect FC Cincinnati to beat any MLS team this year 6-1?
No. No chance.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
No matter who they start or play.
The team as it looks right now, no.
All right.
And if it's like we're more likely to lose 4-0 or 6-1 than we are to win like 2-0 or 3-1 in MLS competition.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't feel good.
No. And it
needs to be improved upon.
Here's the problem right now. And like,
hang on. Before we get to this, I want to say Shirilla today was the only center back, and still the only center back since Yerson Mosquera, who's been able to hit really good long balls from the back line. And I think
Flores does.
Flores is okay with it, but Shirless were better. And I don't think, like, yes, he got beat today. Sure. No doubt. Miles Robinson looked worse than him, but I don't think he stood out in a way that would make me think he doesn't belong in this league. I think that this team just overall had an epic collapse today. I think on a competent team, you would be able to you should expect a team to be able to start a youngster at a position like 3 center backs, and you have one of them as the youngster, and be fine. I'm not expecting him to win the game. I'm not expecting him to be the world's best center back. I expect the team to be fine, to get a draw, to eke out a win.
Red Bulls are throwing out 16, 17-year-olds. Philly is throwing out 16, 17-year-olds, whatever. These teams aren't winning their
Philly's
games.
maybe not a good example to bring up.
Well,
I know.
Are these teams losing? Are these teams losing 6-1?
No.
Philly hasn't won though. We at least have a win under our belt.
Yeah. But like, what? I guess I don't find it interesting to talk about like how did Andre Shirilla do? Or how did Dotto do? Or how did like Kyle Smith do? What I find interesting is like, why did the whatever roster they put out lose 6-1? And why have they lost 3 MLS games in a row? And what is who's and like, I think a lot of people saw this coming. Yeah. Not like 6-1 necessarily, but a lot of people saw bad results coming into the season, including, if you believe him, Chris Albright, when he said like, we're like doing like a renewed focus on like underlying numbers. We're firing Dom Kinnear. We're bringing in like another guy. The team paid at least lip service to like, we know something has to change.
Nothing has changed.
Has something changed?
No.
And I want to throw out that like you can say like, oh well, they beat Tigres 3-0. They beat Tigres 3-0 under the like prior successful model, which was the other team has more possession. We take advantage of opportunities in like transition, and we like move quick and score. Right.
So my problem. I have a couple of problems with, and I agree with Grayson. Like, there's nothing individually about this game that's interesting to me. It was awful. There were like a ton of terrible players. Like, I don't think anyone stood out in this game at all. Everyone. The only person that you could say had a bright moment was Dotto, and then he follows it up by being invisible and getting sent off by a red card. Like, he, in turns, on balance, was awful too. I think for me, there's a couple of big issues. And the one that I want to sort of start with is this idea of, well, we were rotating today because we played CONCACAF Champions League on Thursday, and we have CONCACAF Champions League next Thursday, and we're prioritizing CONCACAF Champions League. And I said this in the Discord during the game, and I really do believe this. Number one, I get wanting to win Champions League or Champions Cup or whatever. The odds of us doing that are remote. In the history of this tournament, 3 MLS teams have won. There has been one MLS team that has won it in the past 25 years, and that team, Seattle, had the benefit of doing a dual leg for the Champions League final to win it. And it was an unlikely story when it happened. They got a home game and an away leg to do it. They've done away with that since then, which is why when Columbus played in this game, they had to go to Pachuca. They got food poisoning, got the shit beat out of them. So I get this idea of wanting to do well in Champions League, and I am okay with that if it's you're treading water in MLS during Champions League play. But if you are going to get the shit beat out of you game after game after game and say, oh, well, we're in the middle of Champions League and this is really hard, then in my mind, if you are totally abandoning the MLS season to play for Champions League, then you've got to own if you don't win Champions League. And I'm not here for this take that, well, we prioritized Champions League and we had a really good run. Well, if you shit the bed for your MLS season and you have left yourself like with, 3, 4, maybe 5 losses by the time this is all said and done, and you don't win a trophy out of it, then I've got some real questions about your priorities and like the weight you were assigning to various things and your understanding of win probabilities, because Champions League is a long shot bet for this club, even with being up 3-0 on Tigres.
Yeah,
Would you take,
I'll say this.
Hang on. Would you trade 2 losses in MLS to beat and advance past Tigres?
No.
Just in the abstract. You wouldn't take that at all.
No, unless you're winning Champions Cup, who cares? Like it was a fun night beating Tigres, but at the end of the day, unless you win Champions League, there is no benefit to your season by saying, oh, well, we beat a Mexican team. Well, congratulations. Then at that point, you didn't win a trophy. It's a glorified exhibition game that doesn't help you in your next pursuit of winning MLS Cup or winning Supporters Shield or winning a trophy that matters. Unless you're going to win the entire thing, then it's a wasted effort to go all in on it.
But by that same logic, unless you're going to win the Supporters Shield, individual wins in the regular season are irrelevant so long as you make the playoffs, which is ultimately very easy.
Right. And at a certain point, teams make that choice too.
More teams will make the playoffs than not.
At a certain point, teams make that choice too when they're out of champions, when they're out of, the Shield race, and they start setting themselves up for the playoffs. They manage minutes. Like, if you are going to go all in, like balls to the wall to win Supporters Shield, and you run your team dead and you don't win Supporters Shield, and then you're also not set up for the playoffs, then you know what? Then that's bad roster management, because you committed to winning a trophy, you failed, and then you also hurt your chances to win the next trophy as well. Like, there has to be some calculus in this of probabilities and odds.
All right. So 2 things. Talk about probabilities and odds. One battle after another just picked up another Oscar. They won best editing, best film editing.
Oh, that should have gone to F1.
And 2, I think I'm not entirely on Chiefs' side, but like, given where they are in the season and given the roster that was thrown out on Sunday, and given how easy it should have been or should be to advance against Tigres, given the result from last Thursday, I could be convinced, and I'm on the verge of thinking, that if they don't advance against Tigres, somebody else should be managing FC Cincinnati the next day.
I don't disagree.
I think I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I've told myself I don't want to call for Noonan getting fired. I don't want to do it just because I don't either. I don't want to do it. But it's by the same token, it's like, when does it get better? And also, like, if you put all your eggs into one basket of like, we are basically punting an MLS game, one of only, 34 games we get in this season, where if you're playing for all the trophies and your goal is to win all the trophies, well, you're digging yourself a hole right now with 3 losses this early in the season.
And another problem.
If you don't win CONCACAF Champions League, then, and especially if you don't advance out of this leg, like, what are we doing? Like, what is this?
Another problem with the team is that it seems like when they get it wrong, they get it way wrong.
It's real wrong.
Right? Like when they get it wrong, they have no chance. Versus like the other team came out like a little bit better and we like, got it together and gutted out a win. We end up with like, losing 2 out of 4 playoff games for nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is the type of thing. This is the type of stuff that it just shouldn't be happening. Yeah. And it happens over and over again. And like we say, like, the team won more games over the last 3 years than anybody else did, or had the best results over the last 3 years than anybody else. And that's true as long as you don't like consider trophies. Sinners just won something. Best
cinematography.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting interesting here.
So, it does make you wonder if like they've just had the best players.
Because when the league gets better around them, all of a sudden, yeah.
Or when they like play like a really good team who also is coached well, they just get run off the field.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that happen more often? If the assumption is that Pat Noonan,
seems to happen.
It has happened plenty.
Well,
when they get beat, they get beat bad.
There's not a volume of losses, though.
Well, hold on. Well, think about this, Kevin. They have played 4 regular season games this year. All right. And they already have one 6-1 loss, a loss by more than 4 goals. So that's 4 games this year. If you go back to the previous season, so go 5 games back, that's a 4-0 loss. That's 2 losses by 4 goals in the past 5. You go back 6 games, and that's our win versus Columbus. You go back 7, that's another 4-0 loss. So of the last 7 games this team has played against MLS opponents over the last year, like between the 2 seasons, they have lost 3 of 7 games by 4 goals or more.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's just the numbers. Like that's
it's hard for me to say like you're good at anything. Looking at that, like you're good players, you're a good coach or anything.
And that's with the same players for the most part. Like that's with Kevin Denke. That's with Evander. That's with Miles Robinson. That's with Obi. That's with Geedy. That's with Ender.
Like
that's with all these guys.
How do you sleep at night?
It's just so I can continue to play the defense here. I totally see the point in the recent stretch, and that might be enough to get somebody fired. I'm not disagreeing about that. What I am saying, though, is that if we think Noonan is as poor of a coach as we might think he is today, wouldn't we have seen a larger volume of losses over the last 3 or 4 years?
I'm not saying he's a poor coach.
Or whatever the criticism is. But we would have seen more losses.
But they have this team. I have been tweeting for like 4 years that for a good team, this team gets its ass beat more than like anybody.
Yeah.
When they lose, they do like get their ass beat, right?
This team has a very bizarre mentality. Yes.
And there's examples, right? When it's like, when it does become like you face like an evenly matched team, like they do fold, like they folded in the semifinals of the Open Cup against Miami. They folded in the semifinals of MLS Cup against Columbus. They played NYCFC in 24. They won 1-0 at home.
Yep.
Lost 3-1 on the road. Yeah. And then nothing at home, went to penalties and lost. Okay.
Yeah. Lost late in penalties. Yeah.
Last year, they lost 4-0 to Columbus in the middle term. They had 2 1-goal wins around that, and then lost 4-0 to Miami. On the other side, they lost 4-2 at Columbus at home.
Yeah.
In the regular season, they lost 3-1 against Tigres.
Yep.
They had a terrible Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
Yep.
They beat Monterrey and then just looked like crap against
just
2 subpar
to
teams.
Take the tournament off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's tough I think that there's a lot of, well, so it's like why doesn't it happen more? It happens plenty.
Yeah.
When it matters.
Yeah.
And then it's not that like Pat Noonan is a bad manager, but we talked about this a little bit on the World's Game. Anywhere else in the world, he'd probably already be relieved of his duties.
Yeah, with Perea and like Orlando.
Like any team,
assuming FC Cincinnati holds itself to a standard that we would expect a European, top 2 or top 6 in their domestic
any
league.
team in like any like serious league in the world that aspires for trophies in that league would have already made a change. I'm not saying I would make a change right now. I said what I'm kind of edging on is if they don't advance over Tigres, they should make a change. But I do think it's true that like if this was like Leverkusen or somebody, they would have made it. I'm not even saying like Man City or whatever. Right. Is they would have made a change, or people would be clamoring for a change.
There would be more clamoring than what we are hearing right now.
The seat would be
I'm
hot.
not even clamoring for a change.
Right.
No. Well, the reason why, hold on. I'm waiting to jump in. The problem with the idea of like really increasing the volume or the temperature on Pat Noonan's seat, though, is that as we have gotten sort of more of a look at this team, I now have a really tough time like really describing where the fulcrum of blame lies between Albright and Noonan. Because I don't think that this team has looked good. Like, no shit. They haven't looked good during this stretch of MLS games. They haven't looked good in MLS play going back to last year. But beyond looking like they don't tactically have ideas, the other thing that I just find myself unavoidably concluding when watching this team is that these parts don't fit together. That they have assembled a team of players that do not fit well together on the field, that do not play well together on the field, that don't have skills that complement each other on the field. And part of what I see with this team is a focus on individual skill sets, where take Ender Echenique. Ender Echenique is fast. He is just incredibly fast, blazing speed, can run right by you. Is not a complete soccer player. Runs out of ideas when he beats someone off the ball. Doesn't really have, good footwork to dribble around people. Doesn't have a good final pass. Doesn't have a good final vision. And there are so many examples of this on this team where they are beaten routinely by teams that are selecting players that are just, competent soccer players all around. Like, they might not be as fast as any one player on the FC Cincinnati team, but they all can pass, they all can dribble, they all can shoot a little. And because of that, they are able to adapt and do different things in games than we can do. And that they don't have the problem of, this player is incredible at tracking back as a center back, but every pass he hits is poorly weighted and it screws up the ability to go quick. Or, we have this center back who is theoretically or this midfielder who's a great destroyer, but he doesn't have any vision with the ball at his feet, and so always goes backwards whenever he passes. Like, there are so many players on this FC Cincinnati team that are overall, they do some things great, but then the things they do poorly holds the entire team back. And so, like, when I watch that, I wonder to a certain extent, like, is this a Pat Noonan problem, or is this a Chris Albright problem? And that we're just getting further and further away from when there were players and holdovers from the Nijkamp era. And now everybody that we're trying to rely on is an Albright player. And we're finding that a lot of these players have some warts that make it very difficult to build a cohesive team around. I don't know how to split those two up in order to put the proper temperature on each person involved in this.
So I was thinking about this adjacent relation or issue today, and I the way that I like worked back on it was like, I do think that there are, well, I guess like two separate things. Like one is, I do think that there's certainly like player recruitment and roster building problems in the team. The issue is that like it's easier to like try another manager than it is to rebuild your entire roster.
No.
Right. And if you rebuild your entire roster, you probably also have to change managers anyway.
Right.
But the other thing is the way the team plays. And I know people have been like clamoring for like a formation change for like a couple of years at this point.
Yeah. Wrote about it on the postcast.
I wonder about the like wisdom, right? That comes with like how to pick players and like what to do. Okay. Cause if you look back, go back to 22. Okay. They came into a situation where the team was terrible. Okay. But I think undeniably had a few like pretty good pieces on it. Specifically, Lucho, Barreal, Brenner, and Vasquez.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe a couple of others you want to mention too, but like those four. Okay. And they came out in a certain formation in game one. Got their ass beat. Fine, whatever. Who cares? It's your first game in a new team. You're trying to figure stuff out. You don't know what works. They end up figuring out the 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, 2 forwards formation. Okay. And it worked really well in 22, especially. 23 also.
Yeah, really well.
With a lot of the same pieces, but but in 22 you had like Brenner 18 goals, Vasquez 18 goals, right? 23 less so, but the 22 results were amazing, at least offensively. And then those pieces moved on, and they tried to like find guys to replace them in this formation, and they've been going with a variety of stuff that was like not exactly the same fit, or doing that move wingers back to wing back stuff that we've done a bunch of times and all that. And it's like, have we thought about the possibility that formation worked because it happened to be the best formation to use those pieces? And maybe we should have been thinking about with recruitment, what do we think is the best formation like to play generally that we can recruit guys in? And should we have been recruiting players for that formation versus trying to backfill the thing that happened to work with what was already in the room in 22?
To read a written recap of everything Grayson is saying right now, you can visit thepostcincy.com and read my piece from last week, where I suggested that perhaps it was a bold and brave decision for Pat Noonan to completely abandon the 4-3-3 formation that he opened the season with in Austin, in that now, in the year of our Lord 2026, it's time for another bold and brave decision to get away from this formation of 3 at the back that does not work.
Yeah,
it does not work. The way Pat Noonan coaches the back three, the 3-5-2 or whatever, however the hell you want to term it, every team in MLS has figured out how to play it.
Yeah.
Every single team has figured out how to play Pat Noonan in this formation with these players. It does not work. It needs to stop.
This is what I find interesting about that whole experiment, which was they took a team that the core pieces of it through 2020 and 2021 finished dead last back to back, and then had a plan and abandoned it and built a system and a formation and a style of play based around the players that they had. And certain players were able to individually like play their way into the team, raise their hand. Thinking of Boreal, who was benched and banished to the Shadowlands. Nick Haglund played his way back into this team. And Noonan and company were able to take that and build a team around what they had. And that leads me to believe Pat Noonan, pretty good manager, can take a box of scraps in a cave, build an Iron Man suit, and win a shield in 2 years. Pretty cool. Not saying he didn't get additions along the way, but like a lot of the bones of that shield team were put together by an administration that were rightfully fired and should have been fired way earlier.
By the end of 22, I think that team was good enough to beat anybody. Like,
yeah, I agree.
If they had gotten past Philly,
they almost did.
They had as good of a shot of going to MLS Cup as anybody else would, and they would have good of shot as, you know, given LAFC as good of a game as Philly gave them.
And you know what?
Like, I really believe that in 22.
It makes me. It fills me with a tremendous sense
of
sentimental value.
just won best international feature.
There you go.
Thank you.
What makes this all weird is that they clearly didn't want to play this formation.
Yeah, that's a funny thing.
Why have we stuck with it so long? Like there's nothing in Pat Noonan and Chris Albright's DNA that says that they want to play a 3-5-2.
I think it's
fear.
All thought. I think it's fear. I think it's fear. I think it's fear of backsliding. But like
they're already backsliding.
We backslid.
They're already backsliding.
We backslid. We got to look forward. Like what is the best path forward? I don't think it's this.
There's no way they're drilling the academy teams in this 3-5-2 system either. So like.
No, it doesn't work. The evidence is overwhelming that this system, for whatever it was worth, only worked with Lucho Acosta at the middle of it, in his prime, focused to make everything work. And they have tried any number of other things to replicate that magic between Lucho, Boreal, and to a certain extent Vasquez and Brenner. And they haven't been able to do it. And the data at this point is overwhelming that no matter who you put in that spot in the middle, you can have an MVP candidate. You have a legitimate MVP candidate in Brenner or Evander. It doesn't fix it.
Yeah. And I think it's fair to say that like overall, the players across the board have gotten better. The results have gotten worse.
The players have gotten more talented.
Sure, yes, but not better. Not better, like for the system, for what they're playing necessarily, or like how they're being told to play. But like the 23 team was given tons of minutes to Ian Murphy.
Can I possibly bring up an uncomfortable idea?
Malik Pinto was playing minutes in 23.
Was like, I don't know the answer to this question. No one will ever know the answer to this question.
Okay.
Was this Lucho's bitch about the roster build that we were getting away from bringing in players that could play as a system and as a cohesive team, and we were focusing more on improving talent at the expense of improving fit and improving, you know, what we were doing? Because like you think about it, what did those teams have that were really good? Guys like Junior Moreno. Like, is Pavel Buka more talented than Junior Moreno? Probably. Is he a better fit for the team than Junior Moreno was? I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know that I would agree with that. You know, you lose Alvaro Boreal, and, you know, you're not going to keep some of these guys, obviously, because they want to move on. But your replacement for him is Luca Orishano. Is Luca Orishano as good of a play, is a better player than Boreal? He might well be. Was he as good of a fit for what this team needed as Orishano was? No, you lose Dom Baji and you try to improve on him. Like, there's all these little places where the player got better. The fit for the team just hasn't been there. And we talk so much about gel and this team doesn't seem to work well together. The player selection, you know, we're selecting for better players, but it's not producing a better team. And I think that's been very obvious for the past like year and a half.
The problem with
speaking of selection, I want to point one quick thing out.
Okay.
I saw a few moments. So right now they're announcing like best original song on the Oscars. A few moments ago, they played one song. They played that song from K-pop Demon Hunters,
Golden.
And then they put a thing on the bottom that was like, to hear all the nominees, scan this QR code.
I'm not going to do that.
Well, I think I know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Pretty rude if they don't win that, right? Why would you not have played?
It's like, we'll play one song. They used to play all the songs, didn't they?
Yeah, they used to have musical numbers that would go throughout the thing. It was great. They would just intersperse them with everything that was going on.
I think they have made an effort to like trim the show down. Okay, so on that point, Chief, I would say, no, that was not ultimately Lucho's bitch. Lucho specifically called out the various players that he was upset about the team
it was
leaving.
K-pop Demon Hunters won.
Oh, who? Big shock.
Whoa.
Yeah, the one song that they played.
Could you get like live betting on that immediately as soon as they played the song?
As soon as they played the song, and they were like, we're not going to play the others. If you guys want to hear them, you can Google it.
We're not going to play the losers. You can hear the losers over here.
You want to hear the rest of the crap that we had to listen to. No, because Lucho's issue was specifically with, very specific players that were ultimately, most of them outside of the team's control. But the other thing is, you just don't know exactly how that player is going to play until they are here. So there is an inherent amount of risk. Like, no player is going to be the perfect signing. You can't say Pavel Bucha before signing was going to be a worse fit than Junior Moreno. There's literally no way to tell. All you can do is look at his style of play, stats, the other league, listen to other scouts, and think, yeah, he could string some passes in midfield. He can win the ball. And you think, yeah, all right, we could use that for a certain price. And that's how you do that. But I want to go back to the point about if this team loses on Thursday, Pat Noonan should be fired.
Not just
loses by 4 goals.
No, gets knocked out of CCL.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I meant, Thursday. And I should have articulated that. If the team fails to advance past Tigres, I do think that it's fair to then turn this to a calling for a firing. However, I think it's worth pointing out that would take an extreme loss. That is a loss 4-0 or 5-1, an absolute blowout. Not impossible, as we have learned today.
If you can lose to New England 6-1, you can lose to Tigres 4-0.
Not impossible. Now, I'd hope at the very least there's a stronger lineup put out against Tigres, but that's neither here nor there. But I want to ask you this, specifically you, Chief.
Yes.
What would it take for you to win back Noonan's trust, or is it already too late?
It's not already too late. He has an incredible track record. He's won a supporters shield. Like he's presided over the best stretch of soccer in this city's history.
But is it after every loss we're going to have this conversation about how, and granted this is a big loss, but is it after every loss we're going to talk about how this team is failing?
But we haven't said that over the last couple of weeks. Like I said last week, it's like, you know what, the football is lifeless and they got to do something about that, because I think that like it was the first time I could think to myself, oh, Noonan might not last this year, because what you're looking forward to is a lot of empty seats, because no one wants to pay money to watch a team that like struggles to score goals and that has to grind out victories. Yeah, Noonan can win it back, or not even win it back. He can right the ship. But what I'm going to need to see is this team's going to need to go on a winning streak a little bit, especially now with 3 losses. This team's going to need to show that it can score goals, and not just like 1 or 2 goals. Like I'm going to need to see some 3 and 4 goal efforts out of this team, where like they blow some teams out. They're going to need to look better than the horseshoe of doom passing chart. They're going to probably need a formation change at this point. Like if we keep running out of 3-5-2, like unless we win MLS Cup doing it, like I'm done. Like that formation sucks. And it is irredeemable at this point. If we don't change it, what that is telling me is that he is incapable of adapting. And then, yeah, I am going to ride it. But no, I'm not writing him off. It just, something needs to change. Yeah. And if that's what he's doing and the coaching staff is doing, fine. But if he is incapable of changing that, then yeah, at some point we're going to have a conversation about whether he's the one that needs to change or not.
And Kevin, your question, I think was posed in an interesting way. you said like, or is it going to be a thing where after every loss, we're having this conversation? It like kind of presupposes that we're having like a bunch more losses, right? Well, like the way you asked the question, because we've had 3 losses in a row, and each one has been, I'm sorry, like embarrassing in its own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for a good team,
yeah,
none of those 3 losses are ways that good teams should be losing games. Not a single one.
Of a world,
like the one loss, yeah. Like we were not hard on them after the Minnesota loss. Not remotely. We were disappointed in the offensive output, but we were like, oh, this is a good team. Like they were set up really strong, and you know what? The game just went their way. Minnesota has gotten demolished.
It's not good.
Twice since then. Once by Nashville and once by Vancouver.
Our quality loss has turned into a quadrant 4 loss.
Multiple goal losses, giving up 3+ goals in these games. Okay. So like we came out of the Minnesota game, we're like, yeah, like Minnesota's really hard to score on. Turns out they're not.
No.
And then now we got like, you lose to a bad Toronto team. Yeah. Again, like I said before the season, I liked the way Toronto was trending. Still a bad team.
And even if they go on to be a good team, this was a pre-Josh Sargent team. So you don't get the benefit of the team looking better later for this loss. Certainly
if they end up having a good year, it'll be because they've made like various additions. This was a pre all that Toronto team.
Yeah.
Man, losing 6-1 to this New England team.
Not good.
I don't care who started the game.
No.
Yeah.
On a different note, can I offer just sort of another thing I want to...
Paul Thomas Anderson won Best Director for One Battle After Another. So One Battle After Another is going to win Best.
That wraps it up.
It's going Best Picture.
God, it'd be so funny if like Marty...
This is like FC Cincinnati going down a goal.
Yeah, it's over.
This is done.
Sinners won on paper when rubber met the road.
Certainly the XO for Sinners was like
off the charts.
Yeah. What's funny is the expected Oscar was very high. Once we got to the post award ceremony expected Oscar, it's tumbling.
All right. One final point on this game. And it's not about this game, it's about the roster specifically.
Yeah.
If Matt Miazga is not good for 90 now, you shouldn't have picked his option up. Like we're rapidly reaching the point where he either needs to be playing 90 minutes or it was a liability to pick up $1.5 or $1.6 million in salary. Because if you're telling me that this team is challenged for we're in fixture congestion and we need bodies, we need people playing, God, wouldn't it be nice to have $1.6 million worth of player out there and available for selection for all 90 minutes. So we are now 4 matches into the MLS season. This team has played now, 7 total matches between the 2 CONCACAF games at O&M and then the 1 versus Tigres. Yeah. I either need Matt for 90 or I need that contract bought out at some point here soon, because like it is an albatross around this team's neck right now that he's only good for 20 minutes at the end of a blowout.
I was thinking about this too. We trusted a 17-year-old over teenage Hadebe, which is a lot of money to be trusting a 17-year-old over. And was it 2 games in a row? Teenage has not played at all. Did he play versus Tigres? He did. Yeah,
he played versus Tigres. I was about to say, they're clearly saving him. But
I back off.
Look, like I need Matt Miazga out there. And if he's not good enough to be out there or he's not healthy enough to be out there, I'm again asking why we picked his option up. And I like Matt Miazga. I like what he brings to this team in terms of attitude and leadership, but it's like he's either ready to go or he ain't. And if he ain't ready to go by now, then we need to have some conversations about why he's on this team.
So there are decisions that were made around the team. Miles Robinson is a DP.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to have another TAM player right now or another U22 instead of that's DP deal.
Picking up Teenage Shadebi's option. Picking up Miazga's option. That were either so questionable that they should call into question the judgment of the person who made these decisions, or they were made because we wanted to maintain a certain floor with the understanding that the team was not going to seriously compete for trophies or for like Shield or MLS Cup in the next couple of years because of Messi and various other things going on and how other roster stuff fell, to the point where like I wonder if somebody needs to like come clean about that, or like the fan base has been defrauded.
The Jabari, Tom Barlow is the number 2 starter at this point. I don't think it's questionable.
Nope.
Yeah,
that's done.
The only question is if you put Evander up top instead and start Dado at the 10. Like that, Jabari's the 3rd choice striker at this point.
Jabari's Kai Kamara, except we paid $1 million for him. Same level of production, right?
I just continued, like all the numbers reported say 2.
I don't know. Like that was my big takeaway in this game today, was that I sat there at the end of the day. Like I sat there and I was like, number one, my 2 big takeaways. Number one, if you're going to totally punt the MLS season, then you better win CONCACAF Champions Cup, or you're going to get both barrels. Because you've told me that's your focus. And if you fail at what your focus is, then I call into question like the process by which you decided to make it your focus.
Or you better win MLS Cup, but like I don't see what the pathway is for doing that.
Yeah. Number 2 is that you have on your roster, as we speak right now, U22 center back
Michael B. Jordan just won Best Actor for Sinners.
We keep going back and forth on this.
Sinners is back on the table.
Oh boy!
Unlike FC Cincinnati, they managed to score after going down, which was fun.
They do split picture and director quite often. I don't understand why, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
it would seem like
consolation prize. Consolation prize.
They do that. It's like the the Brokeback Mountain Crash year. I think Green Book won Best Picture and somebody else won Best Director.
Grayson, you know what it is? They laid the groundwork early with
Shield and MLS Cup
animated short or whatever. A tie. A tie is on the table, folks. They foreshadowed it.
DP center back, Max Tam center back, Tam center back, high Tam center back, U22 center back. You have 4 players at the same position group making incredibly large money or using premium roster spots. You should never give 6 goals up, ever. If that's where you also have almost max TAM money invested into a defensive midfielder on top of that was starting in this game. There's no excuse for spending that much money.
And you start another guy who only is defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you give him 6 goals. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Like even starting 17-year-old Andre Shirilla. I don't want to hear it. You've spent that much money on the roster. You should never have to dip down to a 17-year-old ever.
Kyle Smith,
or if you put them out there, you should be pretty confident that they can do a job.
Yeah.
Right. I don't mind.
Like if he wasn't good enough to be out there, that's not his fault.
Right.
It's the coach. It's the person's fault who chose to start him.
Yeah. Alvis Powell was available for selection in this game. Why wasn't he playing center back? We've seen him play center back before. Why are we starting a 17-year-old?
Or Kyle Smith and Alvis out wide. Yeah. I don't mind a team putting in weaker players, particularly young players you're trying to bleed into the team.
This isn't a charity. This isn't a charity and a daycare. No.
You still have to get results. I don't care about trying people out. You still have to get results. You can't be like, I tried this guy out, so we lost 6-1.
Right.
Like, correct. I'm okay because they have more information about like who these players are and what they can do. And like, they're in a position to decide who to start around them and all of that. I'm not going to say like you can't throw out a 17-year-old here and there because other teams do start 17-year-olds and get results. I am saying that I started a 17-year-old is not an excuse for you to get embarrassed.
Correct. Correct. If there's a world where we have a 17-year-old center back go 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw against New England, it's not ideal, right? But it's good.
It's not why we
experience.
It's not why we drew.
No.
Right.
You know, like,
and he's not why we lost, which is worth pointing out.
No, he's not. It was everyone was equally poor in this game. There was not a single person in this game, from Roman all the way up to Ayub. There was not a single person in this game that deserves even an ounce of praise at all.
According to FOTMob, Brian Ramirez deserves an ounce of praise. Everybody else was getting rocked.
We had to keep running back down the field to check on the kid. It's like, is he alive? Somebody know where his parents are? He's being chaperoned properly.
I take that back. I was looking at a different screen. No, only Evander got a half decent score from FOTMob. I don't know why. I guess because he got the assist. But the two worst scores on the team, Roman Salentano, that's going to happen with a 6-0 or 6-1 loss.
I'm a little on Roman watch.
But Miles Robinson was the next lowest.
I'm not ready to have the conversation, but I'm on watch. Like, when set piece defending is that bad, it's on the entire team, but it's on especially two people, and that's your center back leader and your goalkeeper to get everybody set up properly.
They've been vulnerable on crosses for a long time.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't really expect that from a team that has horses in the back.
Huge players. Yeah. It's awful.
So,
and like are
they trying to do anything about that?
Yeah.
If they are,
change
who's doing a bad job?
Yeah.
Are the players stupid? Are the players bad?
They're bad at timing jumps. Like they're really bad at that.
Or are they being not told the right things? I don't know.
Oh man.
We may never know.
Grayson, what awards do we have left? Is it best pick or we have best actress? Obviously,
best actress, best picture. I think that's it.
Are those the last two? That's what I was saying.
Man, I remember this thing used to go to like midnight.
Yeah, no, they trimmed it down.
Your late local news is always next.
Well, best actress is going to be Jessie Buckley, I assume. And then it really feels like it's going to be one battle after another. So I don't know.
That's not what I wanted. Google, who won the Oscar for best trailer? Surely that's an Oscar.
It's not an
Oscar. I don't think it is.
They've gotta.
They don't. It's not an Oscar.
They don't have to anything.
Not for the major on television. There's like 1 trillion Oscars that they don't put on television. Like all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, nobody cares about those. Those are fake. Those are all fake.
Awards or whatever.
The ones where it's like also awarded in a ceremony earlier today, and they like scroll by them all at light speed.
Yeah, and there's like 4,000.
I want to know who they excluded from the in memoriam.
Oh, that's
they always forget somebody, and their excuse is always funny. So their excuse is always like, well, that person died this year, so they'll be in next year. But they got Rob Reiner, and I think Rob Reiner died this year.
He did. 2026. It would be really funny to do a selection Sunday, last 4 out. Oh, so sorry, you did not make the cut.
Yeah,
you were big in the 40s, but
right. Ooh, just if you had just had a higher or a better away record, and you'd really tried to schedule outside your conference a little better, maybe we wouldn't have had to be in this position.
Well, the guy who played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat 90s movies died.
Was he in the in memoriam?
Yeah, his soul was taken to the nether realm.
Also was. Robert Duvall died like last week.
Oh.
I do think it's fair. I do think it's fair that it's like it should be like if you die like between ceremonies, you get it.
I thought that was always how they did it.
But
they always forget somebody. Then they're like, "Well, that person died this year."
aren't like the Oscar movies? Don't they have to come out in a very specific window? It's not just like any time after that.
No, so Oscar movies have to come out. They have to have like their premiere or whatever in the calendar year that the award ceremony is for.
Okay.
So like there's always movies that don't come out to like the public until 26.
right.
that are in the running because they like had their premiere at like a festival or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay. I was gonna say it'd be very funny to be like, you have to die in this very specific window.
So the one that I think the Emmys have like a very confusing window.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
So like there's always like movies in the Emmys that are like, or shows in the Emmys that's like, I think that came out like 18 months ago.
Oh man.
So I guess we go. Is there anything else to say? I guess we don't have to preview Tigres because we're recording on Wednesday, allegedly.
Well, they're doing Best Actress right now.
Okay.
Wait.
So guys,
are we just going to go live?
Vamp until we get Best Actress.
So allow me to, on the fly, on the recording, program this out. This is how I
Jesse Buckley for Hamnet. Pig catcher.
Boo.
Boo.
I don't like Hamnet. I've decided I don't like it.
It's for a pig chef, I think is what it's really for.
This is what I say we do. I say we release a 30-minute episode on the postcast, which is previewing Tigres, and we got Patreon questions to answer. We got a bunch of voicemails.
Do you think this is going to be our least liked episode in show history?
Probably.
Yes, by far.
Right.
By far. It follows the worst loss since 2019.
You know what would have been really funny is I didn't talk this over with you guys. Is that so as first reported on X, the Everything app, it's all happening.
Oh man,
on
Jessie
X.
Buckley just came out and said she's trans. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I just thought it would be a
lighthearted moment right here.
Yeah.
I record when we did the live episode after the big Tigres win that now seems like ages ago, given the vibes. I was up in Columbus for the Ohio high school mock trial competition with my team that I coach. And sad to report that they advanced all the way to the state final championship match on Saturday and fell to a bunch of cheating losers from Archbishop Hoban High School.
Hang on. Chief coached a team that lost a big match, and he's on here criticizing.
Yeah, turns out I also suck in the big matches too.
Here's my problem. Hoban sounds anti-sex worker.
It really does, actually. Makes you wonder really what they're hiding there.
That's what they're trying to pass in the UK.
What was the name of the school? What was the name of the school before they had a Hoban? And what was going on at that school?
Probably a very racist mascot.
But I hadn't told you guys they
it was Chief sleeps with socks on.
Yes, no, I do that all the time. You can see that on away days when that eventually gets released. One of my upper class students, a child, which would have been a problem for how this is going, discovered that I do have a podcast. And had informed the rest of the team about it. And they had said, if we win the state championship, will you allow us on the podcast? And I had said, yeah, sure. There's no chance of that happening. And we were within 5 minutes of having a very uncomfortable conversation about who the guest in segment 2 was tonight.
Damn.
Segment 2, unpaid children.
Yes. Legally, we're not allowed to say any of their names, and they're not allowed to appear on camera. Thanks, YouTube. But here, you have 5 minutes to talk about whatever it is that's important to you as a 14-year-old.
This is very funny. This tells me Grayson doesn't listen to the episodes because
I do not.
My daughter has been doing an ad read for us in a bunch of the episodes. And the whole joke is that she said, she starts off by saying, my dad said this would be cheaper than paying intern Luke.
That's absolutely true. Shout out to mock trial student Luke, the best mock attorney in the state of Ohio, as awarded in the championship match. He didn't win the trial, but individual accolades always more important than team accolades. I've always been saying that.
They just brought out Moulin Rouge.
Oh boy,
it's Ewan McGregor and
speaking of Hoban,
Nicole Kidman.
Not the plot of the movie or the musical, excuse me.
Obi-Wan Kenobi tries to sing.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hoban won.
Anyway.
Half-hour episode. we do Patreon questions, preview Tigres, but then on Thursday we go live immediately after the game, regardless of the result, and we go live on YouTube and we do a live stream.
Yeah, you guys can do that. I will be
Skiing?
Yes.
Incredible.
Kevin, you and me, we could just go up to Streetside and we could do an impromptu live post show from Streetside after the match. I don't know if they'll be open that late.
What time is this game?
It's like 9, right?
I think it starts at 9. Yeah, we'll be really pushing.
You're going to threaten Streetside like, yeah, we'll just go out the sidewalk and just start yelling at people after you guys close.
Yeah, we're live from Streetside. I didn't say we were inside.
Hold on. They're doing Best Picture. Nope, not going to be Begonia. The movie sucked. I'll be honest with you. F1, no way.
Also not going to win.
They're throwing Apple a bone.
I don't think the movie is very good.
Asking Apple to keep overpaying for all
Frankenstein didn't see, but not going to win.
Read the book. It's fine.
Hamnet. No.
More like Hamnet.
More like Hamnot. Marty Supreme. More like Marty. What's the opposite of Supreme?
There is nothing
Marty
about
Minimal.
The trailers or anything I've learned about the movie Marty Supreme that makes me want to go see it.
It's about ping pong, right?
I don't know. It
I
looks
liked
awful.
the other movies. I liked Good Time and
Can you call it ping
Uncut
pong or is
Gems.
that problematic?
Table tennis.
I actually do think it's a problem. You're supposed to call it table tennis.
Table tennis, yeah. Is
I
it
don't know
because
if
it's like problematic or that it's like copyright like Frisbee is, where you're not allowed to call it Frisbee golf, it's disc golf.
I think it's that actually. I think ping pong's a brand. Table tennis is the sport.
It's going to be one battle after another, surely.
It's like us covering this FC Cincinnati season.
Yeah, it's one battle after another.
They win it.
They won it. Best Picture.
We did it.
We did
defeated Donald Trump.
Breaking one battle after another is your Best Picture nominee, as first reported on the Cincy Postcast.
Yeah. Breaking news. Per
Sinners.
sources.
Breaking news.
Sinners fumbles a 16 to whatever lead, and damn, that's tough. Tough.
Yeah.
scenes.
We did it. We've revived liberal democracy.
We have.
Do you think they'll do two battle after two another?
Yeah, but Leonardo DiCaprio won't come back for that one, so the other cast members are going to have to pick the slack.
Yeah, he doesn't do sequels of movies he was in.
Yeah,
yeah.
But then he'll show up at the 3 Battle, 3 Furious, Tokyo Drift. He'll show up at the end for a post-credit scene.
Oh God. So there you go, Chief. You and I are going live, maybe
All right.
from Streetside, maybe from a street side somewhere in the tri-state area.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll put it on YouTube this next time so people don't have to download the Riverside app. So
Yeah. I also pissed off a lot of people from Columbus this weekend. That was kind of fun.
By the way,
good.
there
Yeah.
are people who are ducking us, who could be answering questions that are raised by recent results. And by that, I mean voters of the Academy.
Yes.
Yes.
And Chris Albright.
Also one Senor Chris Albright. Yes.
Senor Albright.
I gotta assume the worse the results, and therefore the harsher the criticism, the less likely we are to get not only one Chris Albright, but I'd say anybody under the employ of FC Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So it goes.
Whatever. They hate us anyway.
I would hate us. My God.
I said
do
this.
hate us.
I said this in Columbus on Saturday night, and I said, somebody asked, to response to a question on Twitter, what's the worst thing about Columbus? And I said this town has no vibe because it exists solely to be the state capital and just kept growing. Cleveland and Cincinnati both have history and a personality. Columbus has Ohio State. Boy, did that piss a lot of people off.
Truth
but you know
hurts
what?
Sometimes.
I don't care, because fuck Columbus.
The Cincy Postcast is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out online at thepostcincy.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter and Blue Sky, though, you'll find we're a little more active than the other places. We're also on YouTube, where you can listen to this episode if you aren't listening to it already. We are also putting up video content semi-regularly, including the Away Days series. We want to give a huge thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers for providing the music for this episode. They're a lovely band, and you can find more information out about them in the description of this episode. And if you happen to enjoy what you just heard, can I please ask that you like us, that you rate us on whatever app you're listening to, and maybe more importantly than all of that, share this episode with a friend. When it comes up at work, you're talking about FC Cincinnati, I say, hey, I listened to an FC Cincinnati podcast. I think you guys will like it. It would really, really help us out. Nothing helps a podcast travel more than a good recommendation from a friend, family member. That would be awesome. When it comes to the sorting algorithms that control our lives, a 5-star review would be much appreciated. Also, leaving a sort of written review weirdly does more than that. That's how the algorithms work. So maybe say a nice or a mean thing, whatever. Just as long as you give us 5 stars, that'll really, really, really help us out. And if you are looking for more MLS content, check out our other podcast, The World's Gam. Again, a link will be in the description of this episode. That is where we touch on league-wide storylines and news, and we talk about other games and a couple other teams in there as well. I think you will enjoy it if you are just dipping your toes into Major League Soccer. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors. A even bigger thank you to all of our patrons over at Patreon. But maybe most importantly, thank you for listening to this episode.